how I sort of, what I say to people when I talk to whatever people, clients, whether they're clients or not, doesn't really matter. Talking about these changes in Facebook is making, I think the main thing is that whatever change Facebook makes, whether it's Facebook or Google or whatever changes the big guys make, and then if we sort of focus it on chat, those changes don't change the wants and needs of the people, the consumers. I mean, we're on the same page with that. I mean, we, the people, we still expect to be able to chat with the business, whether that's through Messenger, whether that's through browser, whether it's through SMS. It doesn't matter. I know. I'm still a Messenger guy. I know you're doing more browser, which is clever, which makes sense. And in the end, as a business owner, it doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you do it.
Yes.
Because we, the people, we expect it. And when I'm on a website, I don't care. I don't know whether it's browser based or Messenger or whatever. I don't really care. The only thing I care about as a human, as a consumer, is an experience. And the experience should be a good experience. I want to reach out to the business when I have a question, and then ideally get a timely, relevant reply.
Oh my gosh, you're here!
Welcome to My Chatbot Life, where chatbot marketers share high-converting strategies in this new conversational marketplace. Each week, MKJ introduces you to bot builders who are just like you, a little techie, a little markety, and a whole lot of geeky. Buckle up as Chatbot Mom enjoys another journey into My Chatbot Life.
Okay, Rutger, my dear, I've got to introduce you to to my wonderful listeners, my Chatbot Life people. Rutger, my dear friend, I cannot wait to have more of this discussion with you. And thank you so much for starting it at such a perfect place, because you are right. You are absolutely right. This doesn't change anything, whether Facebook does things or Google does things or anything else. We're still human to human interaction. So it doesn't matter. Absolutely. So so let's get into some of the details of Messenger, because I'm still in chat. I'm still doing some things in ManyChat. I still do some things for clients and I have things. I'm actually doing kind of a hybrid, to be honest with you. I start with chat and I go into browser. So how are you trying to still solve those problems for customers in ManyChat with all these, or in ChatFuel, whichever you're using, with all these changes and Messenger?
Yeah, so the vehicle we're using doesn't really matter whether it's ChatView or Messenger or ManyChat. It's platform agnostic. In the end, we're all leveraging the Messenger API from the Facebooks.
Yes.
It's tricky. It is tricky, and I don't have a set in stone one-off answer or solution for this. I think what I've learned in the last, I think on January 16th, whatever the day was, there was this big update, this big announcement that, especially for EU, things would change. Let's keep it simple. Things would change. Facebook would deprecate its specific features. Let's not dive into the details. I guess the people that are listening know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Facebook would deprecate specific features. And this is an actual learning sort of that goes a little bit broader than probably only Messenger. And my first thought was, holy crap, here we go. Is this the end of my business? I am in Europe. I work with the majority of my clients and students, whatever, they're outside of the EU, but it took me, I don't know, I had an instant pain in the gut. Yeah. So I was looking for workarounds. And seeing what was still working, what wasn't working. And I think I was sort of in that mode for 3-4 days in a row. Also, and this is sort of where I want to head to, also trying to be proactive on changes, reading the documentation, being on top of updates in those days. You know what? After a couple of days, I just stopped.
Yeah.
I just stopped.
Yeah.
And the main reason for that was because it was so, it just kept changing. It just kept changing, whether the information came from platform A, B, C, or D, all related to this specific Facebook API update thing. And then I spend a lot of time in developing features and doing this, and yeah, you need to be on top. I stepped away and I dropped it. I just let it go. And guess what? Guess what happened? A week ago or so. I mean, they rolled back the changes.
Yes.
They rolled back the changes.
Yes.
Now, take away from this whatever you want to take away from this. But what I took away from it is we need to accept this. We need to accept that this happens, that we get smacked in the face with these changes. It hurts, but it will work out. It will work out at some way, at some point. And I think my learning at this is, dude, you got to chill. You got to take a step back and assess the scene. Don't freak out and see what happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. So this brings it back to similar to what you originally said, which is life happens. How are you going to handle any situation? I mean, and if we know anything else, we know that 2020 kind of taught us that the shit can hit the fan and it can really splatter everywhere and we can all be kind of going
And
crazy.
it happens.
And if we wake up every day, we're going to wake up every day and we're still going to have to face the day and we're still going to have to figure out what to do. So the first thing I try and do, I agree with you 100%, step back and just take the emotion out of it. Go scream into your pillow, go, hit the whatever you need to do. Don't hit the dog, don't hit the cat, don't hit your kids or your wife, none of that stuff. But, if you need to go scream into the pillow and go for a long walk or go for a run and wipe yourself out, do it. Get over it, because guess what? You're going to have to come back and figure something out.
Exactly. And
when you do that, it makes you, it allows you to clear all that crap out of your head and be able to face it in a way that will give you options. And I'm still waiting for an answer as to what the heck made them all of a sudden roll this stuff back. What changed, right?
Yeah, great question. I'm at a point now where I don't even care why they rolled it back. I'm happy that it got rolled back, whatever that may be or may become. Just sort of looping back to the learning here, and because I think it's an important one from a business perspective as well, is when we build our empires on leased ground, which we're doing with Facebook in general, whether it's Messenger or whether it's with the whole iOS 14 update. Now we got agencies that grew, whether they're small or big, it doesn't really matter. They grew because, for example, or their core offer was performance marketing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. So they get paid based on the actual conversions tracked in Ads Manager. Well, guess what? Those conversions are going to be gone. They're still there, but they're not going to be tracked in Ads Manager. Well, the only thing what I'm trying to say here is when we build our empires on leased ground, Facebook in general, then we need to prepare for these shifts.
Yes,
they happen. And 2020 and 2021, so far, we've seen quite a few shifts. But if you're not able to handle these types of shifts, then the best advice I can give you is go do something else.
Go do something else. Exactly.
So, yeah. With that said, if you're only doing this and you are able to handle these shifts, also go do something else. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I mean, we tell it to our clients, client, you need to go multi-channel, you got to do SMS, you got to do email, all that. But we as them business owners, what do? We're only on Messenger. As an agency, we're only on Facebook. Think about the bigger picture. So don't put your all your eggs in one basket. Easier said than done, I know. Yes. Don't freak out when such a shift happens. Be prepared, because it will happen and it will happen again. You need to adjust. When it happens, take a day off or 2 days off. Feel like shit. but also know that there's the chances are bigger that
Mhm.
you will find a way and recover or even come out better, then your business is going to die.
Yes, that is, of course, there's a reason you and I love to chat because we are very similar in the way we have an outlook on
Yeah,
life.
oh, yeah,
And
absolutely.
it really is, this is why Richard Branson is who he is, Tony Robbins is who he is. It's because they never give up. They don't just go, oh, life threw me a bunch of curveballs and I don't know how to hit curveballs, so I guess I'm going to go over here and get a job. And if that's you, go for it. Do it. That's fantastic. I thrive in this stuff. I absolutely, my operations manager calls me an energy junkie. I am absolutely that. I thrive on this energy. And I hope it's going to keep Alzheimer's at bay, right? As I get older and make my brain work. It doesn't mean I'm better or worse, because it doesn't mean I always come up with the right solutions, right?
No,
It
of
just
course not.
means
No.
I keep going, right?
But
Yeah.
it's difficult to keep going. I mean,
Yeah.
I've hit a few rough patches
Oh,
for the
yeah.
first time in my entrepreneurial journey in the last 10 years. I hit a few rough patches in the last, let's say in the last 6 to 9 months. And that's okay.
Yes.
That's okay. And it's okay to think I'm going to drop everything now and I'm going to do something else. That is okay. That's perfectly
Yes.
fine.
Yeah.
And talk about it. I
Yes.
mean, talk about it, vent it with whoever, and then sleep on it. Whether it's a day or 2 days or 3 days, and then reassess it. And if you still think this isn't for me, whatever this may be, then take action on that. Don't get stuck. But I think a lot of people then sort of look back, like, you know what? I'm gonna try this route. But again, what I want to say here is it is not it's not a bad thing to sort of decide this is not for you, whatever that may be. I mean, there's no right and wrong here. Definitely not.
Absolutely not. And there are so many other opportunities. I agree with you
Sure.
when you say that we need to diversify as entrepreneurs in the messenger space, just like we're telling our clients. And I would not have done that had clients not asked me for that. I was 100% committed messenger only. I didn't do
Yep.
anything else in the beginning in 2017. That's all I did. And if a client wanted Facebook ads, I sent them somewhere else. I lost quite a bit of business because
Yep.
I told people I do not do Facebook ads. So obviously the more people that came and asked me and the more clients I lost because of that, because I didn't have that offer, I brought it in, right? It
Yep.
doesn't mean I had to do it,
Oh,
but
fair
I
point.
partnered with
Yep.
people who were very good and understood it because I didn't want to learn it.
Yep.
And so I opened that up, and then clients asked, do you do YouTube ads? I even had clients ask, do you do Twitch ads? So I'm like, okay, yeah, let me see how I can do that. And I found people who could do that, and I vetted them, and I made sure that they got the results. And I kind of raised myself from a bot builder to a CEO of an actual solution that I provided for clients.
Yep.
And once I went through that transition, that's how I can get through these things, is because I'm going to find other people to do other things for my clients. Like you said, they're still going to have those needs. And now I have a network of other businesses that I can bring into my solution and make sure that I can solve those problems for people.
No, but 100%. Personally, I'm taking a little bit of a different route.
Yeah.
In the end, my core focus is still Messenger, and that's what I love: automations, Messenger, and everything that comes with that. But when I look at the long run, I just don't. And this is super new, and I don't have any experience in this. So, but just throwing it out there, just sort of to be whatever it is. But I don't want to be reliant on client work. I don't want to be necessarily reliant on Facebook platforms or Google. My goal for 2021 is to start a brand, a product, something actual, physical, something you can keep in your hands. And I know then you're going to be reliant on manufacturers and shipping and COVID hitting,
Yeah.
and all kinds of stuff. But look, there's always dependencies, but that's sort of my take on this versus scaling the agency to whatever that is, I'm going the e-commerce route. See if there is something I can find that I can manufacture, and with my marketing skills and marketing mindset, I'm pretty sure that as soon as we found something that is, soon as we found something that we could produce, we should be able, we do have a competitive advantage over many sellers out there because of the network, the knowledge from the marketing bubble we're in, and the conversational stuff. So that's my goal for.
That's fantastic. I can't wait to see. I can't, because I agree with you in that sense. You're not only can you diversify, like I mentioned, with Google ads or Facebook ads or Twitch ads, or, any other marketing, email marketing, if you want, website development, whatever you want to do. But you can also definitely diversify in the mix of your business, in what you offer and how you make money, how you create revenue. And it doesn't all have to be in an agency. It also doesn't have to be, because I know you and I both are trainers, teachers, mentors, coaches. It doesn't all have to be in students either, in our courses. It can also be in products and other things that we do.
Completely new stuff. And
yes.
What I think is super important is, it sounds super cheesy, but it's true. It is do what you love, do what you actually get, do what gives you fulfillment.
Do what lights you up. Yes,
exactly. What lights you up. And that's just so important. And if you do not have that little that little energy boost from stuff that might be completely different than your business, if you do not, or when you have that, let me take that approach. When you have that, it will be so much easier to cope with sort of setbacks in your business when one of those major shifts happens, like Facebook dropping some stuff, or Google they're going to take away the retargeting, or the iOS 14, whatever, that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's the stuff that I've learned in the last 6 months by hitting a few rough patches, seeing these big shifts. Like, dude, you got to be, you got to stay in control. You cannot be proactive on what these platforms do or not do, but you can be proactive in the choices you make in terms of what can you do to create a revenue stream in that what can you do to create a stream that generates revenue in maybe 2, 3, 4 years from now.
Yes. Yes. Fantastic. I thank you so much for sharing this with me. I agree. I'm so glad that we are all weathering these storms, and we will continue to. It was this storm. It'll be a different storm in a couple of years. There are always going to be storms. And the way I look at this, and I was taught this by an incredible mentor of mine. Her name is Geeta Nadkarni. Actually, David Boulay is the person that's on her team. And the statement that I keep telling myself when things are so turbulent and so uncertain is, I want to be the sky, not the storm. The storm passes, the sky stays the same. The sky is always there. It is solid. Well, it's not solid. You know what I mean? It is ever present. It doesn't change. The stars, the sky, the clouds and the storm move on, and they go somewhere else, and then you still have the sky. So I try and be the sky and not the storm.
Yeah, but that's
and
the
more
really
I do that,
point.
The easier it becomes. Doesn't mean I always accomplish it.
No, of course
I dive into that storm.
No, but here's the thing. So the first thing that comes into mind is, yes, that makes perfect sense. But you need to get yourself into a position, and I think this is key. And correct me if I'm wrong, but funny, because I just sort of start reiterating this, but you can be this, you need to get yourself into a position where you can be the sky. And that is not something that comes overnight. I mean, yes, it has to do with mindset, but it also has to do with being able to sit out a storm from a financial perspective.
Yes, absolutely.
And from a solid home base perspective, and from a mindset perspective, and all these elements, then you are able to sit out the storm. I mean, I was lucky enough, because I never thought about it like this. It just literally sort of popped up. I am lucky enough that in the last 2-3 years, I built up a solid financial buffer.
Yeah.
And my first thought was, fuck, this is the end of my business. And then after 2 days or so, 3 days, what I just sort of explained, like, okay, take a step back. It's not the end of the world. I looked at what I had and realized, all right, chill out. Worst case scenario, it is the end of your business, which probably is not going to happen, but worst case it is, then you still have enough runway to start doing something completely different.
Yes.
But if you don't have that, if you don't have those base assets, then you're going to freak out.
Yeah.
And you're gonna panic. And when you freak out or panic, then you don't have a clear mind, then you're not able to make any rational decisions, and there's a fair chance it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so that's
Interesting.
Yes. So what I did was I started training myself with that mindset of be the sky, not the storm. I started training myself, I believe the end of 2019, beginning of 2020. Just training, because I'm a very emotional person, right? I'm going to dive in. I'm Italian. You're going to see it. If there's something going on, you're going to see it. And so I would do that. And so I started training myself to not do that as much. And once I did that, and once all this stuff happened, my husband's business had some issues. And so I had to kind of pick up slack and take care of everything, and for several months. So all of my runway was being put into solving these issues for both of our businesses. And even with that, what it taught me was, first off, like you said, don't worry, you've set this up so that you're okay. But even when you have to use that and now you're not okay, and you still do have to figure something out, I will always have the ability to do something to create revenue. I know I can. I know how to do that. It's
Exactly.
I have no problem with that. I know if I need to go out and do something to create revenue, I will. I'll find a way.
Yeah.
And that's what that taught me, was to put that emotion aside. Yeah, it's scary. Yeah, things are going on, but you've got skills. Don't worry. You've got skills. You can make things happen.
Yeah.
And it's true. I have done that. So it started with the mindset. Then it went to, you're okay, you've got runway. Then, oh crap, what's happening to this savings? Because now both of us are having issues. Okay, now go out and do what you have to do. And
problems never come in once; they always come in pairs. No, so I think the answer, because I didn't have a clear answer to the question, how do you prepare for these big shifts? And the answer isn't in a hack here or a hack there, or we're going to do this. No, it is super basic.
Yes.
Not easy,
No.
but basic. And basic meaning basic, it all starts with you. How do you prepare for these shifts, which will happen? It is, you need to be ready when that storm comes, that you are able to survive the storm, even if you're not getting any revenue in, even if no revenue comes in for 2 or 3 months. Let's not overdo it. You need to have that buffer.
Yes.
to survive, even maybe on a not the service level or luxury level you're used to, but if you're able to survive the storm without having financial stress or that kind of stuff, then you will be able to, then your creative mind will be able to come up with a way to cope with the shift, sit it out, worst case scenario, come up with something new.
Yes. Yes.
That's the answer. That's how you should prepare.
You have all the power right here to figure it out. And you'll come up with that hack if you need to come up with that hack. But there is no one hack that fits all when these things happen. It has to come from you. You have to, and it really does have to start also with what you also said. You have to do things that light you up. You have to do things that you are excited about, because if you're not, you're going to immediately, when you hit the bump in the road, you're going to immediately go, why am I doing this? I don't want to do this anymore. And you're going to look for something else. That's fine. Hopefully it'll move you in the direction of something you do enjoy, because that's the only thing that's going to keep you moving through these situations, is if you care about it, you are passionate about it, you will figure it out. If not, go find something that you are passionate about and figure that out.
Yeah, and doing things you love can be super simple things. They don't have to be, I don't know, you don't have to figure out a kind of new hobby or something, or
Yes.
become a mechanic to sort of fix old cars. No, it's super simple. And just an example of actually today is we got this whole COVID thing going on, and lockdowns and curfews, whatever. It's so easy not to go out. And it's just sort of getting stuck and behind your computer and working and grinding, whatever you want to call it. And the other day I just called a friend. It's like, dude, Thursday, let's meet up in Amsterdam where we live. We haven't seen each other for a while. Let's go there. And we just walk for 2 hours through the park. And within the first 10 minutes, first like, oh fuck, I got tons of work to do and I need to do this and I need to do that. But we went there, bought a cup of coffee, started walking, and within the first 10 minutes, it's like, yo, this is awesome. It's perfect. It's fresh air. I'm walking, I'm outside. And that just gave me, besides it was good sort of see my friend again and talking and all that, it also just created instant headspace.
Yes.
And those are the little things that help you go through, that help you sort of pass these rough patches. Because if you, and this is something I've learned in the last 6 months, if you just keep going behind your computer, it's not going to change.
No.
It's just not going to change. And so it's the basics. How do you prepare for these changes? It's you. It's not the platform. It's not the next hack. It's not the workaround that's probably not going to work in 3 days or in 2 weeks or 4 weeks. No, that's sort of the rat race that you're running. Is you are an entrepreneur because you have a creative mind. Now make sure you are able sort of to survive that storm because you have the assets. You got sort of a stable, what's it called? Home situation, food.
Yes.
Just have a healthy body as much as you can, or at least what you can control.
Yes.
And make sure that that's good. Get up and walk and get to those 5, 6, 7,000 steps a day. That's the stuff that's going to help you survive these freaking storms.
Yes. Yes.
That's it.
Yes. I can't say anything more. Thank you, my dear friend. I so appreciate you coming and having this chat with me and spreading hopefully some wisdom to some people and helping them navigate this and figure out how we're all going to keep moving and keep going and what we're going to do. I so appreciate your time, and I hope you stay healthy, stay happy, and until our next chat, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Just on a side note there, these insights, I think the majority of these insights sort of came up while we're talking. But on a side note there, in the last 6 to 9 months, these are learnings, or I think these are aggregated learnings from serious rough patches in the last 6 to 9 months. I'm not sort of saying here that this is what you need to do or you should do. This is not a magic wand by no means. This is just personal experience, and I'm curious to hear what other people experiences are with this. And I think I found it scary. I found those rough patches pretty scary. And overwhelming to some extent, until I decided, and that literally was a decision, no more.
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah.
Take back control.
Yes.
And that's then the first step to quote unquote recovery.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start a coaching program in 2 weeks from now with one-on-one coaching here in Amsterdam with a team, which is part of the no more take back control.
Yeah.
So this is what I just told here is nothing to do with the coaching. This is not some coach sort of whispering in my ear. This is me. I haven't even started the coaching.
Yes.
But this is more personal than anything else. So just sort of for the record there.
Yes. And it has to be, because that's how we get through these things. That's how we discover our path, is through the experiences we have. And no matter what, there will always be things we can't control, out of our control, that happen to us that we don't want. And to be able to go through them, no matter how painful, and get to the other side and realize, oh, I survived. I'm still here.
Yeah.
Okay, I can figure this out. You can only do that by surviving it. And so, yes, good for you. I can't wait to hear about the coaching. I can't wait to.
Me too. I'm pretty excited. It's scary. I find it scary, but also exciting because, and the other thing there is again, these are just personal notes here, is as soon as I looked at this coaching thing as a personal development, it flipped the positioning for me. I'm not sure if that's proper sort of explained, but back in the days when we still could travel and I spent lots of money on flights to go here and there and go to this conference and that conference, which is also personal development, but sort of this is different. I mean, these I don't know, I'm getting a little bit stuck here, but I think what I want to say is that invest in yourself. Do it to survive those storms.
Yes.
And that's something I'm now doing for the first time in my life is pulling the trigger on something like this and then looking at it from a personal development point of view. Then, dude, this can only make you better. Yes. And this can only sort of lift you to the next level, whatever that level may be. Mm-hmm. So enough personal stories for now. Well,
thank you. It's all about that. Thank you for sharing that, and hopefully giving others the permission to do the same, because that's where it has to come from within. It's not some tool, it's not some technique, it's not some platform. It comes from within. And that's why this is called My Chatbot Life, not how to build a chatbot. Because
fair point.
Life.
Now it's well said. Give the permission. You need to give yourself the permission to feel bad and don't feel bad over the fact that you feel bad. It's part of your life. It's part of your journey. But at some point, you need to say, okay, now it needs to stop. Now I'm going to take back control over the things I can control, which is not the Facebooks or not the mini chats or whatever these platforms may be. It is you. And then sure, man, just kick it around, feel bad for a while and talk about, and then start talking about it and find your way out. And then take action and then come back and kick ass.
Have an amazing day. I can't say anything more. Thank you.
You're good. Thank you, MKJ. Good to see you again.
Thanks for listening to the My Chatbot Life podcast. To watch this video chat, visit mychatbotlife.com and get all the rocket boosters you need for your own chatbot success.